How do you read into this?
As a minimum, what has happened today is highly regrettable. It demonstrates a growing mentality within our society, a mentality of we win or they lose. If we are not going to win, definitely we must cause all the possible chaos. It also demonstrates the increasing dilemma that this country is facing. The dilemma of drawing clear boundaries between a technical approach and a political approach to issues. Of course, what we have witnessed today is an indication of a situation that could have been avoided, I would imagine, if there was a clear commitment to democratic practice. Indeed, we have been arguing over time that commitment to respect for human rights and democratic practice requires creating conducive environment or an atmosphere which enables people to make their choices without intimidation, threat, or otherwise. And indeed, this is one of the issues that was raised with respect to the presidential and parliamentary elections that were concluded last week. Generally, whereas they were peaceful, there were arguments as to whether it was worthwhile deploying a high military security presence within the city, and whether that could not have adverse effects. Because what have we witnessed today? Among the hotspots which Mole talks about, we have indications of security agencies involved in beating people. So we ask yourself, what was their role? Was their role to ensure security for the voters, or was their role, to be part of the scuffle that unfolded? What about the militia people are talking about? What is the source of this militia? Against the background of that high deployment, why would you be talking about militia being part and parcel of the disruption? Again, we are talking about, Molly has talked about ballot stuffing. Who exactly initiated that? Who handles these boxes? If you are really a professional technical person who has been charged with managing an electoral process, how would you explain the fact that at 7 a.m. they had boxes which had already been pre-ticked? So the management of the process raises serious questions. And these, I think, are questions people have been posing over time. So I would say that we still have a serious challenge of ensuring that the bodies that have been entrusted with roles to play are given room and left to manage the processes. There is an indication of political interference in these processes. It is very clear, because otherwise how can you explain what has happened today?
What do you mean by political interference?
Definitely there are forces within the establishment that have intervened. I mean, how would I explain ballot boxes being pre-ticked? Because ballot boxes are managed by the security apparatus. I would imagine from the Electoral Commission, they are escorted, aren't they? to the polling center. So how would you explain a ballot box being pre-ticked? Who handles this now? So you have to ask, there must be another force within that is operating. Otherwise you would be saying it is the Electoral Commission which is conniving or which is involved. But would they do that? Is that part of their business?
Why would it be in Kampala and not in
would that be their business? So it means, therefore, that there is another force which is at work. We have had reports today that there were people who were told very clearly that they must vote Sematimba because the president-elect can only work with Sematimba.
Some people they were not campaigning, they were
going around saying you must vote for so and so this morning.
With authority.
With authority that, it must be so and so. Who has that power? The Electoral Commission has already said campaigns stop here.
Right.
Why should you continue campaigning? So we have issues that remain and we will need answers. And I think, as Molly says, it was a pleasant surprise to all.
Well, listeners, this is Spectrum on Radio 1. Tonight we're looking at the effects of the Electoral Commission calling off local council elections in Kampala following massive irregularities and violence. We're looking at what happened today and in the parliamentary and presidential elections and asking the question, what measures should the country take to have a robust electoral system? We are going for a commercial break. We'll be back. Stay with us.
This is the lowest offer in Uganda. Let me see this planet.